Welcome to this explainer. Look, I don't want you to treat what we're about to cover as just some casual listen. This is a dark, uncompromising field manual for surviving the modern era. Because let's face it, we are dealing with an absolute onslaught right now. Burnout, anxiety, and endless mental distraction. So to navigate all this, we're actually going to look to the past, specifically to the battle-tested philosophy of Japan's most lethal swordsman, Miyamoto Musashi. Now, let's dive right into this highly aggressive opening thought. Musashi wasn't just obsessed with morbidity, and he definitely didn't write this just to be grim. He understood a brutal, fundamental truth. Accepting the absolute worst-case scenario completely destroys the illusions of fear, hesitation, and anxiety. Basically, when you accept that the absolute worst can happen, you completely free yourself to act with total clarity.
Section 1. Your life is a battlefield.
I really want you to reframe your current struggles for a second. You aren't just stressed. You are in a literal war zone where survival demands absolute mental discipline and zero emotional reliance on external comforts. Just consider this stark parallel. Historically, we have the Sengoku Jidai, the warring states era of Japan back in 1584. It was pure, bloody chaos where survival was won by the sword. Fast forward to today, and we face our modern high-stress life. We trade physical death for emotional and ego death, endless mental distractions, and toxic environments. But here's the thing, the mindset required to survive both of these arenas, it's exactly the same.
And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates that our advice today comes from a master survivor who actually thrived under life-or-death pressure. I mean, at just 13 years old, Musashi beat a skilled adult samurai to death with a wooden sword. By 16, he survived the sheer, horrific slaughter of 160,000 warriors at the Battle of Sekigahara. But his most incredible feat has to be his duel at age 28 against the elite Sasaki Kojiro. Now, Kojiro had this legendary swallow cut, an attack so fast it was supposedly undefendable. So what exactly did Musashi do? He used psychological warfare. He literally showed up late, making Kojiro furiously impatient and angry. Then, wielding nothing but a wooden oar he carved on the boat ride over, he landed a single lethal blow before Kojiro could even react. He won the battle in the mind before a weapon was even swung.
Section 2. Accept death in your heart.
So let's transition to the precise mindset required to navigate your daily battlefield. This is all about how completely shedding the fear of failure creates an unstoppable, undeniable force. Look, 80% of success is mental. I'll just say it directly. Your modern fears of starting a project, speaking up, or facing rejection, they're paralyzing illusions. They are literally holding you back. Our source material makes it crystal clear that true strength is choosing action over the paralysis of anxiety. Once you stop fearing failure, you become an absolute ghost on the battlefield, untouchable and unstoppable.
So I want you to ask yourself a hard question right now. Are your decisions being made by your ambitions, or are they being made by your fears? Take a second and reflect on how often you avoid difficult situations. How often do you just play it safe, seeking the comfort of the known, instead of stepping boldly into the void?
Section 3. Forged by the fire. Now, how does all this build into an actionable strategy? We can see exactly how by examining Musashi's ultimate philosophical text, written right at the end of his life in 1645, the Book of Five Rings. The crucial point you need to take away here is that this isn't some abstract floaty theory. It is a brutal, hyper-practical roadmap for turning overwhelming struggle into absolute self-mastery. He breaks down life strategies into 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and void.
Let's walk through this tactical progression. Step 1 is earth. This means you absolutely cannot skip the basics. There are no shortcuts or life hacks for the fundamentals, period. Step 2 is water. You must ruthlessly adapt to change and flow right around obstacles. And then we get to step 3, fire. This is where you purposefully expose yourself to the fire of voluntary discomfort. Whether that's cold showers, fasting, or intense physical training, you literally must embrace hardship to harden your mind. Struggle is the only forge that creates real, lasting strength.
From one thing, know 10,000 things. Mastering one single discipline teaches you how to learn, how to adapt, and how to conquer literally every other challenge in life. This really embodies the wind element of his teachings, which is all about studying diverse perspectives. Because once you understand the deep, underlying mechanics of one thing, you gain the upper hand in everything else.
Section 4. The art of detachment.
Now we're shifting focus to the final days of Musashi's life and the extreme emotional severing required to maintain your peace in the middle of absolute chaos. We're talking about the Dokkodo, or the way of walking alone.
Remember, Musashi was a masterless ronin. He completely rejected the comforts of servitude and rigid samurai culture. He realized that true freedom only comes when you stop relying on society, external validation, or temporary comforts.
Now, to be clear, detachment is absolutely not a lack of love or empathy. You can still care deeply for others, but it is the absolute refusal to let uncontrollable external events dictate your inner peace or your logic. You've got to remain emotionally unshakable and radically independent so that you aren't completely destroyed when things inevitably fall apart around you.
What's really interesting about this philosophy is just its sheer bluntness. Accept everything just the way it is. It demands that you stop complaining about unfair circumstances. You must coldly, objectively face reality. Resist the urge to be emotionally disturbed by things you simply cannot change, and instead adapt instantly.
You need to mercilessly cut these specific vulnerabilities out of your life. Chasing instant gratification, hoarding material goods, letting societal expectations dictate your path, or begging for social media validation, all of this makes you incredibly vulnerable. It makes you weak, it makes you easily controlled. Eliminate toxic relationships and mindless entertainment immediately. Just cut them out.
Section 5. Walk the path alone.
We're bringing this explainer to its dark, meditative climax now, focusing on the ultimate level of mastery and the highly solitary nature of this journey. The final element of his philosophy is mushin, or the void. Look, overthinking is the ultimate enemy of survival. By clearing your mind through deep work, meditation, and relentless repetition, you stop second-guessing. You act purely on instinct without a single shred of self-doubt. This right here is where you achieve an effortless flow state. Do nothing that is of no use. Think about that. Every single action you take must serve a distinct purpose. If a habit, a possession, or even a person isn't helping you grow and master your life, they are actively dragging you down into the mud. You have to cut them loose. The way is in the training. Self-mastery isn't some finish line you cross. It's a brutal, daily commitment to progress. Even after 60 undefeated life-or-death duels, Musashi never stopped refining his craft. True success requires claiming total, heavy responsibility for your failures and putting in those grueling, uncomfortable daily reps. Because the hard truth, no one is coming to save you. Today is victory over yourself of yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. This striking quote really reminds us that the only true enemy is your past self. The real battlefield is always, and has always been, right within your own mind. I want to end this explainer on a chilling, provocative thought for you to chew on. Are you walking the path of mastery, or are you just waiting around for the perfect moment? Because the harsh reality is, there is no perfect moment. There's only the void, and the choice you make to step into it today.